Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's new commission, known as the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has announced that they are taking applications for positions that will pay $0. We'll explain how a little later, but first let's take a look at DOGE's announcement. We are very grateful to the thousands of Americans who have expressed interest in helping us at DOGE. We don't need more part-time idea generators. We need super high Q, small government revolutionaries willing to work 80+ hours per week on unglamorous cost cutting. If that's you, DM this account with your CV. Elon and Vivek will review the top 1% of applicants. Later, Musk explained more of what the position would entail. Indeed, this will be tedious work, make lots of enemies, and compensation is $0. What a great deal. It's worth noting that Musk is the CEO of SpaceX, which has $3.8 billion in contracts with federal agencies this year, according to government data. It's not clear whether that spending is on the table for possible cuts, but I think we could take a guess. It's also not surprising that Musk would offer a salary of $0 given his lack of regard for workers, and his new best friend Donald Trump is no better. Let's take a look at a few of the things that they have said about workers. Take a look.
I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone and you are the greatest. You would be very good.
I disagree with the idea of unions, but perhaps for a reason that is different than people may expect, which is I just don't like anything which creates kind of a lords and peasants sort of thing. And I think the unions naturally try to create negativity in a company and create a kind of sort of lords and peasants situation. There are many people at Tesla who have gone from working on the line to being in senior management. There is no lords and peasants. Everyone eats at the same table. Everyone parks in the same parking lot.
I know a lot about overtime. I'd hated to give overtime. I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated.
Cenk, have you submitted your CV for the Department of Government Efficiency yet?
Hey, I'm thinking about it. Okay, so I'll explain that in a second, and we can have some fun with that. Okay, now, first off, I'm proud to have signed our second contract with IATSE, which is the union that represents a lot of folks here at TYT. And what's weird is it's our second contract with them, and I find no lords or peasants here. I thought that if you do that, all of a sudden everybody becomes lords and peasants, but as it turned out, not necessarily.
Brett does think he's a lord.
To be fair, Brett Ehrlich is problematic, okay? Okay, so Tim Newell is CEO of Aspiration. Why am I bringing him up? I just had an interview with him. It's gonna go up over the weekend on Young Turks on YouTube, okay? What's interesting, and one of the reasons we had the interview is because he worked with Elon Musk as an executive at Tesla and Solar City. And he said something that's interesting. It was a nuanced conversation about Elon Musk and then business overall. But he said when you went into a meeting, people would go into a meeting with Elon Musk. We knew who was going in, but we didn't know who was coming out. So this guy loves firing people, loves. And at Twitter, of course, he famously fired 75% of the staff immediately. This is the pro worker. This is the populist. This is the populist. Okay, and now remember, if they ask you to work for free for 80 hours a week, basically what they're also saying is no poors. We don't want any poors around here. We don't want anyone who's middle class, because who the hell has enough money that they could get not get paid for 80 hours of work a week and still be able to survive? Only the rich can. Or corporate lobbyists who are already being paid by their think tanks, by their law firms, by their lobbying groups. So they're gonna bring in the corporate lobbyists because they're populists to rob you blind. Okay, and one last thing. I mean, I know there's so many conflicts of interest, no one cares anymore. But imagine if Bernie Sanders had won and said, hey, I'm gonna put Cenk in charge of a committee to clean up the government and get rid of all spending. Okay, already hilarious. And we will name that committee TYT. Okay, because they named it after his Bitcoin or whatever the hell the DOGE is, right? So already like massive marketing, like I know, I'm a boomer on that stuff. Okay, whatever this Doge thing is. Okay, so they name it Doge. I mean, it's absurd, right? And then they're like, okay, the way to apply is to come to my website, to come to X. Imagine Bernie wins, he's like, Cenk's in charge. Now it's called TYT, half the government, the spending part. And you have to go through TYT to apply for a government position. Everybody would be like, what is this? This is nuts. And Elon doesn't, nobody even noticed that part.
Yeah.
Right? So these guys, these corporate think tankers are gonna slice and dice this government, and you think that's good? They're not good. They're gonna get rid of all the cops. Which cops? The cops on Wall Street. And that's why I said the robbery begins.
Pay to play. That's exactly what this is, in our face. And Cenk, you took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking, who in the hell could afford to do this? So it's the ultra wealthy. He wants to talk about there's no peasants and no lords. Oh no, this entire configuration is about the lords. That's what this is about. It is about the ultra wealthy believing that they have the highest IQs, because I think an IQ thing came up into this too. So to be wealthy automatically puts you in the high IQ category. And now they are going to get to be the ones that decide what departments on the federal level are necessary and which ones are not. Yeah, wild as hell.
Yeah, although, so now that leads us back to me potentially applying, because I heard this in the morning meeting today, and then I thought, wouldn't it be fun just for fun to, I apply and I say, I'll take the Pentagon. Can I take the Pentagon? I mean, they can't pass an audit, and
Fail 7 of them.
Right, and they've over $400 billion. They say, I don't know where it is. Okay, good news. I went to Wharton Business School, just like Donald Trump, just like Elon Musk. In fact, Elon and I nearly went at the same time. Okay, and so we missed each other by a year, I think. So, and I run a company. I know exactly how to run a company. I know how to cut costs, unfortunately. Okay, because we got to survive in digital media. So we run a tight ship here, as everybody here can attest to. So yeah, I'll do the Pentagon. Now, the reason to do that is because they're not gonna put you in charge of the Pentagon. They're not gonna put you in charge of anything, because they're not actually doing cost cutting. They're cutting the regulatory bodies that regulate their companies. That's why the robbery begins.
I think I would encourage people to flood that inbox just to make it a more arduous process for them. But in reality, if this were to go forward, because there are already questions about this commission even having the legal authority to do that, because Congress holds the power of the purse. So just on that alone, what this might look like might just be advice, just some sort of analysis or input that maybe Trump could help, or that could inform Trump's budget, something like that. Doesn't mean it's going to actually pass, but what I think the right is doing right now, especially at groups like Heritage Foundation and all of the member organizations of Project 2025, they are sending their staff members to try to get in there, make inroads, and try to get on this commission to enact some of those priorities, or to put forward those priorities. They already know what they want. They've got it written out in great detail. They're ready. They don't need the money from a government job. They're already getting paid at Heritage. They're already getting paid somewhere else. They can just go in there, submit their ideas, submit planks of Project 2025, advance it that way. I think if you were at a right-wing special interest or think tank, that's probably what you're sending your staff to do right now.
Tick, 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 tick. Man, they're gonna take so much money off of us. It's gonna be obscene. And by the time the American people wake up, we're gonna be missing many, many more trillions of dollars. And if you don't know, Donald Trump added 40% of the deficit, or the debt, the national debt. Came in at 20 trillion, left at $28 trillion. Why? Well, several trillion went to corporate tax cuts. And that's just the beginning. And there's so many different ways that they're gonna use this to not help the people, but to rob the people. I'm happy to be wrong, and if I am, we'll come out and tell you guys about it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. They did audit the Pentagon. They did save us hundreds of billions of dollars, and they did cut it. They ain't gonna cut the Pentagon. That's where all the hogs are. So they're at the trough right now. Go, oh, Elon and Trump are. We're having fun. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.